giving the State of the Union speech that I would like him to give.
Right. Well, you said this
He's
yesterday,
he's going to
and you
be
have to follow through.
he's canceling the Affordable Care Act. He's closing the IRS. Closing departments of ag, commerce, education, labor, housing and urban development, and transportation. He is going to talk about cronyism. He's going to actually unhandcuff the military, and he's going to apologize for dividing Americans amongst racial, cultural, and economic lines.
That's awesome. It sounds like maybe a speech that Ron Paul would have written for him.
Well, I don't know if I'd say it was Ron Paul that would write it for him. I'm kind of
Getting
hoping it
rid of
would
all
be.
the agencies and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, well, the justification is that all the states already have duplicative uh, organizations that do all of those things, and having Washington involved is just meddling and costs money.
Agreed. Well, agreed.
So yeah, what I'm doing is I'm literally writing. Um, I'm writing the speech I hope he gives, and then I'm going to see if I can do a mashup video with just clip out all those different words and string them all together. What do you think?
I think it's awesome. By the way, speaking of the speech, I've had several followers this morning uh, ask me in a somewhat not sarcastic towards me, but towards Obama, if I'm going to watch the speech, and they were somewhat surprised when I said hell yeah, because Hausum and I yesterday agreed on the show that we would grab the popcorn, pop open a couple of beers, and sit down probably 10, 15 minutes before it comes on, eagerly anticipating hanging on to every word.
Hanging on every word. It's funny. I don't
Oh,
know if you
absolutely.
saw it in the IJR Slack communication. Kevin Boyd just asked who's covering the State of the Union tonight, and I'm gonna watch it, but I'm not gonna cover it. I mean, I suppose what we could do is we could just go back. Who probably would have done the best? I would say of summary stuff like that. I would say either you or Kyle or Soup. I could just copy last year's summary article of the speech, paste it, retitle it, and print it right now, and it would be on point, accurate, insightful, and correct.
I, I'm with you. Of course, what I'd
Don't
like
you
to
think?
do, absolutely. What I'd like to do, and I'm obviously not going to do that on IJR, but I used to do this on Rat Nation all the time. Take various lines that he will say tonight, and again, you and I could write them right now without even seeing a transcript. Write various lines that he will say, and then underneath translate. Right here's what he really meant to say, and
Right.
I could do that throughout the entire damn thing. That can't
Mm-hmm.
happen on IJR, but I will be thinking that. Of course, I will. My blood pressure will rise, and I try not to let that happen. Listen. I've told you before. I can't. Excuse me. I can't even stand to see this guy talk. I don't even like the way he talks, the arrogance in his voice. I mean, Jessica was talking about humming when you were revealing small details of American Sniper, but I just okay. My sound just got really weird, Howsam.
Yeah, it got like fuzzy and distant. Did you
Now
notice
you
that,
sound
Jess?
well. You sound that way too, Jessica. How do we sound to you?
No, it sounds fine to me. Are you guys all right?
Both of
Oh
us
yeah,
sound okay
you
to you?
sound fuzzy too. It sounds like everybody's speaking through waxed paper to me.
Okay,
Okay,
we'll deal
Jessica
with it on
sounds
the break.
fine to me. You sound fuzzy. So we'll have to see what happens on the podcast, or maybe we restart at the break. I don't know. But yeah, I can't normally walk into the room without humming or putting my fingers in my ears if this guy is on television talking about something. So it will be a challenge for me tonight, dude. I may have to get liquored up a little bit or something because but I want to watch it because I primarily, like I said yesterday, I want to, I want to watch the reaction. This will be the first time he gives a speech before joint member of Congress when both chambers controlled decisively by Republicans. So, he's going to be out there with this pie in the sky, non-starter, new tax nonsense. Not new, I mean, it's more wealth redistribution. And I want to watch the cameras pan around the chamber.
Well, that's the thing. That's the thing I'm actually interested about. In fact, what I might end up doing is streaming some music station or streaming some talk show that I'm particularly interested in hearing, and just have the video running. So I don't have to listen to him, but I just want to see the response from the crowd.
That, you know what? That's an outstanding idea. I think I will take the the new MacBook Pro in there, and again, y'all, I keep saying that because Housen was right. Jessica, edit that out. But yeah, and just
Are you kidding?
watch.
I just captured the audio of that and I've already tweeted it twice.
But I'll just watch YouTube videos or stream something online, and just so I can see the video. Dude, that's outstanding idea because we already know what he's going to say.
Oh, and just to hear, Americans just want to know we are better off than we've ever been. We have set a record for consecutive months of job growth and the stock market. And let me introduce you to my friend whose daughter had X and such happen to her, and she is an example of triumph over, well, I mean, you just know, it's just like,
You
oh
know,
my
and
God.
I cannot do Barack Obama, but that way America's better off than it's ever been. That just drives me up a wall. And by the way, speaking of introducing people, this is another tactic of thin-skinned Barack Obama. Did you read where he's going to have an illegal alien sitting up with Mooch in the box?
Oh my gosh. No,
And
you're kidding.
No, it's true. And that's just like the knife, in the ribs and twist it. I mean, that's what he does. I mean, he does it on greater levels than that. I mean, Susan Rice, right, goes out 5, 6 talk shows, lies or repeats lies, mouths lies, parrots lies. She was castigated by a lot of the media, and he promotes her. This is just him. This is what he does. He's doing it, and he's going to say something really flowery, syrupy about this alien. I think it's I don't know how old she is now. Brought here illegally by her parents. A so-called dreamer. Dream Act not having passed Congress, by the way, but he went ahead and ruled by decree. He's going to stick it in everybody's face tonight. So that's one of the guests that we watching The Boy King tonight.
Did you read Tom Sowell's editorial today talking about diversity and how the left's kind of closing their eyes at the consequences of multicultural diversity for all is decimating Paris right now, and uncontrolled borders is decimating potentially the culture of our country. And he actually talks about this. Illegal aliens bring their own culture, their own all this. It's kind of the consequences of a sanctuary city. All cultures are equal. It's not going to have a negative impact on America to have whoever come thinking whatever. At the same time, the concept of assimilation to American culture and American values is so incredibly offensive. That's the point of his talking. And the counterpoint to what Soul had to say would just be a picture of Michelle with a illegal sitting at her side.
Exactly, and he's exactly right. And when Obama gets up and spews, as do many liberals, how America was built by immigrants, and look at what happened in the late 1800s, early 1900s in Ellis Island and the whole bit. What they never want to talk about is exactly what Soul said. By and large, Hispanics coming to this country don't want to assimilate. They want to have there's a place, I don't know how many blocks it is, West Washington Street in Indianapolis. If you drive down this street, and I'm sure you have this going on out there, probably to a much larger scale, you would think you were in some city in Mexico. It's all Hispanic stores. It's all, but listen, even worse, and back to multiculturalism, the failed experiment in Europe, the Islamization of Europe. Muslims don't want to assimilate. I mean, it's a far worse issue than the Hispanic situation. They don't want to assimilate here either. So that's the difference between the Irish and the Germans and everyone else who came to America wanting to be American, wanting to be part of the American dream, wanting to become an American citizen and learn to speak English and assimilate into society. Dude, oh my God, he's right on, man.
Yeah. I can't believe that she's actually going to do that, and they've announced it. But it's just any news about who it's going to be or where they're from?
About this illegal alien?
Yeah.
I just read it briefly. It's again, I don't know her age. I think it's a student but again, a dreamer, right? Which again, by definition, is someone who was brought into the country illegally, not born here by an illegal alien, but brought here illegally from Mexico or, Central America or wherever. And, by decree last year, been allowed to stay. That goes back. That was prior to his de facto amnesty last year for upwards of 5 million more. But I don't know a lot more detail, but I know it's going to happen, and I guarantee you he will recognize her and fall all over her, and Democrats will clap wildly.
Yeah, I'm looking. I just found an article about it on CNS. So I will put that up. The chick is from Dallas, Texas.
And it's just a FU to the Republicans and the folks in this country who do not favor amnesty.
Yeah, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to link that article talking about that, but I'm also going to link Tom Sowell's Diversity in Action, because it is the perfect rejoinder to that kind of dipfeakery.
Yeah, speaking of the speech, by the way, what do we got? A couple minutes or so. Jessica, we didn't get to that was our fault, get to the Josh Earnest clip. Maybe we will play that when we come back from the news. But Biden now, pitching the speech tonight and all the free stuff. Okay? I had to do this quickly. Tonight, this is for Biden. Tonight, Barack will give a State of the Union address to the last Congress he'll serve with, and it's going to be good. You want to tune in. Everything the president proposes tonight is ambitious but doable, like 2 years of free college for everyone who will go there and work hard, better high-speed internet for everyone, making homeownership
doable.
On and on and on. And then, so keep this email on hand while you watch, and if you're feeling fired up to go make these things happen, just chip in. I'll keep you updated, but I have to run. See you tonight, Joe. Kill me right now.
Oh my God!
Just shoot me right now.
Just shoot me. That's what. That's exactly right, Mike. God. Yep.
All right. So there's an Earnest clip saying the same thing. We may have to play that after, and then move on to other stuff. But gonna be a barn burner tonight, dude. Like I said, popcorn, edge of the couch, hanging on every word, man.
What time? What time does it start?
I don't know. I would guess 9:00 Eastern. But we'll have to check that out. But yeah, you don't want to miss in fact,
9 p.m. It's 6 o'clock California time.
So I think you should actually record it as well, because like you like to see movies multiple times, I'm thinking, you're going to want to watch this over and over again.
Well, here's the thing: is I typically go to bed between 12 and 1. So 6 o'clock, I have a squash match. I won't be able to start to watch it till 7. It's a 2-hour speech. maybe 3. Let's assume it's a 3-hour speech.
It'll be
So if I just watch it all the way through twice, that puts me to 1 a.m. And I know I'm going to want to consume it more than just twice.
no doubt. All right,
I'm
listen,
already running into scheduling issues.
yeah, we are too. 5 seconds, we're out. Be back.